into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I doing a doo-wop, right? Oh! Are you, Rebecca? I don't know if you are. Trene loves this song. Get her. Look at her. Get him. Get him. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nino, and you are tuned in to another episode of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. You know I'm not here alone. Over here to my left, we got the dope Miss Trene. Todd, what up, girl?
Oh, you're so sweet for that. And you know you can hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at your girl Trene.
Yes, hit me up too, guys. It's at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All right, Trene. She got crazy.
Super crazy.
On this episode, like about to smuggle money and stuff. Like that crazy.
I love it though.
Like her level of craziness just went even like further. We're gonna rate her level of craziness later on, right?
I already got you on that.
Right. But I see some of my predictions happening.
Oh, yeah, next time you need to bring a psychic ball or something because your predictions are just coming true each
They
episode.
are coming true. Unless, Rachel's like, I think I like that. And I'm like going to write that in. Rachel, can I get a check?
Cut a check.
But yeah, let's start off with a subtle Hyundai ad that was in the beginning of the show. That's a beautiful, nice Hyundai Sonata.
Yes, it is.
I was like, 2015 Hyundai Sonata's coming up now. Leather seats, looking all nice and stuff. But I mean, that was just a subtle little plug there, right?
They always seem to do some slickness.
Super slick.
Super slick. But then, she had the homeless woman.
Yes, and her name was Joyce.
Joyce. Homeless
Joyce. She was just kind of get some change. She's like, all I have is 20s and I get it from working.
Shade.
Dang, shade.
Threw shade at her. Do you ever
shade.
give homeless people money?
I do. When I see that they look hungry and that they really need it. But when I see somebody asking me for money and they got a fresh pair of J's on. It happens off the Coenga exit. I swear, there's this guy who's over there all the time, and he's like suited and booted, and he's like, oh, you know what? I just need the extra cash. And I'm just like, yo, I'm struggling too, you know what I mean? And he's asking me for money, and I'm like, you could sell those J's on your feet worth like $200, and you should be good for a couple of days, a week or two. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, yeah, no shade, but I'm just like, what's going on?
Well, then Rebecca, after she goes to, her convo with the homeless woman, we didn't see her switch over to Boba Date.
Boba Date. That place is like popping apparently in West Covina. It's Boba in the park. That's kind of nice though.
Yeah, it's so romantic.
It's not romantic. I love it. It's almost like I wish they had like a coffee shop out in the park. In New York, they have this like place near Central Park, or not even near Central Park, the Flatiron District, where they have like places you could just chill outside. There's like restaurants and like little things like that. I guess I need to go to West Covina because that looks pretty dope.
Yeah, and we're starting to see that Josh and Rebecca are doing this weekly boba.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Meetup, and then they're looking and reminiscing over old pictures. What do you think about that?
Going down memory lane.
Is that good or bad?
It could be good for both of them.
That's true.
And we soon find out later. We're going to tell you a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm. And then we see Mr. Greg. Greg pops in for some boba and was just not having it.
And he's like, you're not good. You ain't shit. You ain't shit either.
Right. He just went in on them, was like, okay, if you're about to support this, you're not any good yourself. You're a horrible person. And that just tingles in Rebecca's heart and was like, and brings it back once again to her childhood. Suppressed memory of her mom just yelling at her like, you're the reason why your dad left, blah blah blah. Dang,
you're terrible. What that to me was heartbreaking to see that. See that her mom pretty much has always been a bitch to her since she was a kid,
straight from the get-go. I'm like surprised, maybe like out the womb, like what's going on. Her mom has a complex herself apparently.
and she passed it off to Rebecca. But what would have been crazy is if Greg came to the park drunk and just started both calling them out, calling them whores.
Right. He might as well, because he was already going in on them.
He definitely wasn't. He told them they're both terrible, which then kind of is the whole theme of this episode.
Exactly, because they just, it's instilled in their heads that they're horrible people, and now they have to prove it out to Greg that they are good people. But Rebecca takes it in a whole nother level, and poor Josh just goes to church to to find God about this whole situation. And we'll talk more about that. But Rebecca
takes it literal.
I think in my notes here I put her good person rampage begins.
Yes, and her goodness is on fleek.
Right, $20 to homeless Joyce and a ride.
Where can that happen?
What? Right, exactly. Where did she need to go?
They didn't disclose that.
No, they didn't even disclose it. But once again, in the Hyundai, 185 miles.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice,
right?
And it's very quiet in it.
Right, 185 horsepower. They should have said the gas efficiency. That would have killed.
Maybe Hyundai is sponsoring them.
Maybe. No, I'm pretty sure this was a little plug for them, little branded content or what have you. But then Rebecca just starts her great amazingness at the office.
Brings in coffee and donuts. The donuts, not just the plain ones, but the one with all the gook.
The one with all the gook. I love it. And before then, we see poor Paula having it in with some of the craziness that is Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Tim and James of the office.
And those guys are just giving poor Paula a hard time.
Right, Pamela.
Pamela. Excuse me, Pamela. And it kind of shows the office lifestyle and the environment.
Exactly.
And we get to meet Crazy Karen.
I hope she comes back. That's one of my favorite Mad TV what's it called, characters, or just her as a comedian is hilarious.
She is hilarious,
and she's there.
She's there, and we find out that Rebecca actually donates money to her snake.
Right. You remember how much?
Long John Slither.
Long
John Slither, who has terminal cancer. She donates to, so she's doing a lot, and
she donated $1,000, by the way.
Which, if I was a snake and I was ill,
wow. I'm saying, $1,000. She really wanted to spread that goodness, and poor Daryl's there in the corner, really, really needing some help, and she spreads the goodness to him too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She takes on the case, y'all. She takes on the divorce case.
Which, to me, he's been asking her since the beginning, and
day one.
Now finally, she's like, oh, I really know how to get Greg to notice me.
Right.
Did you find it crazy how now she wants Greg to... She'll do anything to get Greg's attention now.
And this was my prediction situation where I'm just like, there's going to be something that happens where she was kind of off of Josh this whole episode because she was so fixated on making sure Greg took her apology and went with it. So... yeah, I have this underlying feeling that something's gonna pop up in this little love triangle, or love connection, because I don't think it goes all the way around, but you know what I mean. But yeah, she takes on the case, and she has to do this outside of the office because she has to do it at the bar where Greg works, right? Who gets put in charge, though?
Paula.
Our girl Paula.
She's like, oh, I got something for you. She's about to whip those coworkers into shape.
She took that. Oh, wait. What did you see? Trene pointed this out to me. I didn't even realize.
So we find out that Paula's a freak because, she, and they're talking about Greg. She's like, Greg could be a search term on porn sites. And then if you really pay attention in the background, one of her pictures at her cubicle is the steamy hot man and this woman feeling on each other. I
didn't even notice that until we had to pause.
We find out. So maybe we'll notice a little bit more of her freaky fetishes popping out this
Paula's
season.
A little freak. I get it. Okay. She wants to get her groove back. Definitely.
She's also really controlling. We find out
in a good way, though. I think they needed these people are crazy. She needed to put them in their place, and that kind of just shows how smart Paula is. Paula gets it. Paula could put everything together, and she could take over the office, and it'd be all good because she was in charge, and she whipped everyone into shape. First things first, though, break the little gun that Tim had.
I think Daryl has a lot to do with the chaos in the office too. Because Weekend Tuesday, and then they're allowed to bring in toy guns into work, and we see that Karen has an obsession over the gumball machine.
Right.
So it's like a lot going on in the office.
She's hiding all the calcium chews. The most random stuff happens in the office, but Paula whips it into shape, and I loved seeing it throughout the whole time. I definitely did. They go to the bar, obviously for not just for to get out of the environment of the office, but to make sure that Greg sees that is there. Bex is there doing all this pro bono to help her boss out for more forgiveness.
And Greg's just like looking at her like, what are you up to? You got something up your sleeve as usual. And as usual. And then, it goes over to Josh, who's in confessing his sins to Father Brosh.
Father
Brosh, who gets promoted.
So he could do confessionals now. I love it. Like so Josh goes in there. He's a religious guy. He mentioned in the beginning, and Rebecca's like, "I'm religious too. I believe in God too." Yeah, a lot of people do. Rebecca.
I know they made that. That was hilarious how they were like, "You believe in God too?" Like, wow, like that is crazy.
Right, a lot of people do. But anyway, so he gets in there and he kind of starts confessing a little bit, and they find out it's Father Brosh, who he gave the nickname to, which helped attendance in church. Okay. And then they kind of go over things, and he confesses something, and he kind of likes... He kind of likes the Bex. He's kind of infatuated with her.
Very infatuated to the point where he thinks about her boobs, her butt, her smile. But then I really found it to be cute where he says that he thinks that she really is supportive and he likes how she believes in him.
Right. And I think that's more of the underlyingness out of it all. Physical attraction is one thing, but I think he likes that she believes in him. And then she gives him more of a hope. You know what I mean? To just be him, and he can still do whatever he needs to do to make it work. That
just goes to show, ladies, that good looks aren't everything.
There you go.
So, because, Valencia, he's been with her for a long while, and she's bomb. She's bomb.
Boothing looks great.
Right.
In yoga pants.
But she's a little up here, and she hasn't brought anything to the table. I mean, Rebecca's out here getting Josh a job.
Right. It's one of those things. It's like sometimes, have you ever been, I'm going to totally put you out on the table here. Have you ever been in a relationship where you just felt complacent for a while?
Like you're not good enough?
Not like you're not good enough, but it's just the same thing over and over again with nothing. Yeah. Just there's no more spark or whatnot. Right. I think that's kind of the situation that Josh is in right now. It's where it's kind of the same thing over and over again. They've dated since high school. They had a 2-month break since then. And then that's kind of it. So imagine being with the same person and it's just kind of been the same thing over and over again, super monotonous. Yeah, she's hot, but like you said, not everything is all about looks.
Right.
So if you're not helping him grow, girl,
not bringing in that coin.
Or not bringing that coin like Rebecca does, because she could apparently just throw away $10,000. Dang. And we'll get to that.
Right. Me to be friends with her. Right. And then, that's when we find out that Daryl is like, please, please, please help me. Like, this is important because Rebecca was going to give up on the whole case.
Yeah, she was just like, I just can't concentrate right now. Because she wasn't in it to win it for Greg. For Daryl, she was in it to win it for Greg. You know what I mean? So her mind wasn't there. But then, after his song, his creepy Amber Alert filled song, like, oh my God! If we opened that, I don't think I could concentrate. I'm glad we didn't. But if he didn't kind of express that song to her in that weird way, where it looks like she was like, okay, I get it. This is important to you. Let's make this work. And I thought her mind at that point was like, okay, screw what Greg thinks. I'm really going to help you because it seems like you really want to be with your daughter. I was wrong. But she still goes in and what happens? She investigates with her, Madison, and Daryl, and Madison snails.
Snelly Minaj.
Snelly Azealia. Dang. And she finds out some pretty interesting stuff.
So Madison, who's like, she's bad because why is she using an iPad? Her mom leaves her by herself at home and uses the iPad and finds her mom is actually at a hotel with her boss.
Yeah, she's a smart little girl though to be doing that. Like, I'm like, what did you do? You like find my iPhone, track your mama?
That's what happens when we give these kids electronics. That kind of stuff. And the dad's like, oh.
Her boss, though.
What?
All 5 years. And that's where Rebecca's like, I got my case right here. I got it. And we later on find out that Madison has all this on a YouTube video. Just talk about her snails.
Everyone has a YouTube video. We'll find out even more who else has
We need to get our YouTube game up.
We do. Like Becca,
This is why Rachel Bloom has this show, because of YouTube.
She can help us out with our YouTube. Give us some pointers.
For real. But yeah, Iggy Snalia and the Snaily Sitters Club.
She's like, what's good, people?
Yeah, with my snails. Oh, like, this girl has so much personality for her age. She's supposed to be like 7 years old. I'm not even sure. But yeah, she was hilarious. She slayed that part. I think she did a good job.
That was hilarious. Her mom was looking like, where does she have this time to... It's so funny because I actually was babysitting a little girl who actually has a YouTube video too.
What?
She talks about her dolls. So it's interesting to see how YouTube is like opened up, a community now for adults, but just for kids too. Like kids, they review their toys, and now we see this little girl's reviewing snails, which she
weird,
probably's got a lot of views because that's something that's creative and out the box.
Definitely. I would have never. I'm gonna look that up tonight to see if somebody actually talks about snails.
Yeah. And then let us know.
I'll let you know next week. I'll definitely let you know next week. But so Rebecca's like, I need to call an emergency meeting with a judge. But before then, she goes to the office and she sees that Paula has everything like in tip-top shape though. Like Paula got it together. In between then, Paula also found out that Tim likes Canadian bacon.
He's actually not a U.S. citizen.
No.
He says he met Daryl at a convention and they ended up being at the same strip club.
They went to a strip club together and had a night that they wouldn't speak of.
Whoa.
Little hangover kind of night.
Right. And he offered him a fake work permit?
No, he gave Daryl the fake work permits and all this stuff just to make sure he could leave his firm in Winnipeg and come out here just to be here for I don't know what reason. Canada's beautiful.
Everybody loves West Covina.
I guess so. I'm like, Canada's beautiful. Universal health care. Everyone's all nice over there. I'm like, dang, okay. Not that I wouldn't leave the U.S., but still. That's not like the worst place to live in. Like,
he obviously wanted to be here so badly.
That
West
Covina. Right? The strip club must have been good. I call deja vu. Deja vu's around that area. Not that I really know. I'm just saying. You sealed the deal there. Anyways, let's move on.
Suck it, Greg. Suck it. He's like, Greg's gonna suck it. Greg's gonna suck it.
This girl she's nuts. Because she wins, obviously the judge votes on her and says yes to Rebecca because we see the evidence and her mom had to postpone her trip to go to this meeting or whatnot with a judge. She was about to go to the Cayman Islands, and Rebecca wins the case because of the evidence. And then she goes to visit Greg at the bar, and the second song comes on.
I'm a good person.
Sing it, please.
I'm a good person. Yes, I am. I'm a good person. She was like, say I'm a good person.
Right, with a knife. I'll gut you like a fish.
She's crazy.
She was in it to really win it.
She's crazy. Where did the knife come from?
The knife came from the table. She just got it. It was just like, before I cut your husband's throat. Like,
she's like, you're a good person.
And it's just so crazy because she writes these songs. So I'm thinking the song she wrote for Daryl Whitefeather was hilarious already. And then she comes up with this song. She does this for every episode.
I don't know how she does it.
No, I don't know either. Rachel, you are a genius. It's crazy how you're able to do this. And it's so awkwardly funny, almost painfully funny to watch, but I still want to watch it.
I wish I had the talent of writing songs as crazy and wacky as these ones.
Right. And every week she needs to do this. So I'm like, dang, you don't get like writer's block. It's insane.
Right. And I wonder if she's directing the music videos too.
I know she's executive producing it, right? So I'm pretty sure she has a hand in that.
Yeah, because that's a lot. Like the whole play out of thinking about turning a bar into your own stage and then picking up a knife, like
exactly. And who's going to be around there? Who's going to be sitting at the bar? Like, who's going to be choreographing my knife fight?
Right. I mean, I thought that if you're a good person, you're going to, like, show how you're a good person. But she's, like, threatening everyone, like, you better believe I'm a good person.
Right. And that kind of brings me to, like, her craziness. I'm like, what if she just, like peaks on one episode and she just goes nuts?
Oh.
I feel like that's just, like, on the edge right there. Because when Greg's like, I don't care. And then she's just like, well... you know what? I'm gonna get that full custody then instead of that temporary custody type situation.
Right.
And she wants to do the crazy and put the $10,000 to go get Daryl's ex-wife arrested.
So crazy, and
that's like beyond.
That's beyond nuts. Like, I would have never thought that she was gonna do that.
No, and she's a lawyer.
That it's like, where are you getting all these ideas?
No, I feel like she was like super blinded. And I'm just like, wait, did she really? No.
And then she tried to offer herself to Greg.
Right, and she was just like, "Is this all you need? Let me just start taking this off.
Right.
I just need your validation."
That's where it's at. That's
exactly.
the thing, you know, they always show the moral of, you know, validation. And that's one of the things that women sometimes think they need to be able to get someone's, like, approval. And that's what I'm kind of seeing in this whole episode. She wants to get the approval of Greg, and then we also see she wants to get the approval of Josh in the past episodes.
Right. So I think she just needs the constant approval. I almost think it's not even just because she's a woman. It's just because she's so damaged as a child, and she needs approval from people. She actually did say that when she broke down to Mrs. Whitefeather about why she was doing what she was doing, was because she needs constant approval of somebody, and she needed it through Greg this time versus Josh.
Right. She needs that constant validation.
Yeah.
And, you know, then we notice that she's suffering from neglect.
Right.
She can't even honestly relate to this situation of the divorce. I mean, she can because she went through that, but she doesn't know how important a father-daughter relationship is.
No, she's not connecting it. Even with Mrs. Whitefeather and, like, losing her daughter, she's like, I understand that, you know, it may seem like she doesn't care, but she does. That's her daughter. She wants to be with a daughter. But it's also hard when your daughter wants to be just with the dad.
Right. I mean, I thought that Mrs. Whitefeather was like a cougar who just didn't care about her daughter like that. Right. But we find out that she's actually very much so hurt by this whole situation.
Right. Exactly. I mean, her Cayman trip and her Louis Vuitton and her Lexus didn't show that for a second, but then we realize later on, and that's when Rebecca kind of gets it, you know what I mean, and she fixes it. See, this is what
always wanting to fix something.
Always fixing something, but she is such a smart. She could solve this this custody battle with, like, just closing her eyes. She doesn't even really need to think. Look how fast she was able to think on her feet to talk to Madison first. You know what I mean? And then look how fast after she self-diagnosed herself in front of Mrs. Whitefeather, look how fast she came into the realization of, like, this is what I could do and this is how we could do it without a judge. Right. She's just super smart. And so is Paula for doing all she did or whatnot. But she's just super smart. And dang, I can't even explain it. Like,
it's honestly, she's smart when it comes to, like, book smartness, but when it comes to life she's not. Or when it comes to herself, she's not. Like, she's honestly smart when it comes to solving other people's problems and issues. Definitely. But her own, it's like she doesn't know where to go, where to start. Her craziness was, like, on 10 today.
It was, though. It was. I gotta agree with you on that one. So if we're on the craziness factor, I think it was on a 10 too, because you're about to get yourself arrested too if they found out that was you.
$10,000.
Right.
Which the ex-wife ended up spending on a hot tub.
Yes.
Shout out. Got the hot tub popping, bubbles popping.
Do it. She was about to get you arrested. You might as well just keep that.
Would you have kept the money?
Yeah. You about to, like, get me in trouble like that? Like, I'm definitely gonna make sure I keep this money now. You lost it. Sorry, it's in my bag now. Like,
I mean, get it how you live it.
Right. But it was nice that, like, towards the end, they saw the family coming together, and they all met at the bar again because that's where the softball game was for Madison, and she postponed her trip so she can go see her daughter play and figure out this whole custody situation without a judge.
Right, because it gets messy in court.
Right.
I mean, and then I noticed her craziness went from 10 to 2.
Yes,
I would say it would, like,
quick.
Went down since she did that.
Exactly. And just like Paula at the office, where she decided not to turn in Canadian Tim to the Federales because she saw that his family needed him, and that she didn't want to ruin his family's like well-being. Although I'm pretty sure she's gonna have a good time playing Tim the rest of the time he's there at that office.
He's gonna be doing. I can imagine him doing her feet, like giving her pedicure at work.
And I wonder if that's gonna be like a constant thing too. So you're gonna see him do random stuff now while she's like chilling at her desk, and then he's like down there rubbing her feet. Like
that would be something, because Paula,
right.
she kind of deserves it.
She does.
You notice that she also admits that her kids steal out of her purse. Like
she has
her family, her home life is really rough compared to her work life.
Right.
It's like her work life, you could tell she kind of likes being at work. I mean,
I think I would too if my family life was like that. I would want to get out that environment and be somewhere where I can control it just a little bit more. And I think her having all this control during this time when she was, the boss was just like heaven for her.
And she did that. She whipped them into shape.
She did. And then Mrs. Sanchez had the nicest things to say to her silently. With a nice reprise of this song, I'm a Good Person.
Don't be sappy. And then we find out Karen actually, she brought something up about tampons.
Yes,
like she was having tampon problems.
At the end, they were mentioning something, and they mentioned Karen, and she comes talking about her tampon cup that she just got.
She's like, I got a menstrual cup now.
Right. Like, yeah, menstrual cup. What I think it was called, like, the Beaver Dam or something like that. And I'm like, really? Right?
That was very extreme. Like, I didn't imagine that.
I don't want to imagine it.
No.
I don't want to imagine, but she did say her floodgates open or whatever happened at the end during her YouTube video that we saw her in. I can't. I think that's
like
just
keeping it real with Karen.
Too real.
She reviews the menstrual cup.
I can't.
And she gets 1,700 views
already,
yeah. And she probably just posted it.
Right. See, I get trouble having like 90 views on my
right. It's probably because she's coming up with something fun and crazy and wacky.
Let me. I can't review a menstrual cup, so
she's like, it's working out. I mean, it wasn't really all that good.
Right? I'm gonna stop there.
It's a little bit too much information.
Too much TMI.
And then Rebecca
and Greg. That was a nice moment.
You think so?
Yes. Well, like, even though, like, I loved it because he didn't go in too fast or too quick. He kind of like let it play a little bit. It was like, okay, you're a nice person to other people, not me. But he was still being like flirty with her, which I'm like, you gotta give her a little space. She's a little crazy. I know you might still like her, which, you know what I mean? She has the same feelings for Josh, but just be careful. But something's gonna build there. I see it.
I do too. And then, oh my gosh, I was like, Josh admitted he was attracted to Rebecca.
That last scene though.
That was like, she was like, attracted to you.
Right, and she was like, that's all that played, right, keep on saying that. But you know, I want to stay with Valencia, but I am attracted to you. That's all she heard. That's all she heard. And I'm just like,
She was like, Rebecca. Hey, I'm attractive.
Right. I'm attractive. And she goes to homeless Joyce.
The homeless woman's like, oh my God.
I know. And it was like, so happy. Oh God.
I'm attractive.
It's about to be crazy. She's about to get even crazier now that she knows that she's hot stuff to Josh.
And
and shall we go into predictions now?
Yes, I think so.
I think that's where predictions come in.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So, I'm gonna let you go first because my predictions have been working.
Yes. I'm thinking you might have some psychic abilities up there. I think that Valencia is going to try. There's going to be some competition. I'm still, the next episode we see that it's the Thanksgiving dinner. Josh invites her. Yeah. But he also invites Valencia too because that's his girl. Yeah. So I think that, they're going to be competing for the mom's affection and attention. And then we're also going to see that Rebecca is going to like Greg too. Because from the last episode, she was trying to make him feel better and to get his approval. That's kind of a case of you kind of liking someone. Mm-hmm. So I think that also she's going to probably get a call from her mom, and her mom is going to probably try and invite her for Thanksgiving.
Right. I'm excited about the next episode. My predictions are that there's going to be a fight at Thanksgiving between Valencia and Rebecca for Josh's affection and his mom's affection, which is funny because I remember seeing her mom in the beginning when they were like sophomores in the first episode. Totally didn't look like her mom now.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, you know, people get older, but wow, that's a total difference. But shout out to, I forgot this actress's name, but she's great. I can't wait to see her. She's a comedian as well, too. And this is like the episode of Filipinos.
I love it.
Did you see all the Filipino food for Thanksgiving? That's how we celebrate. That's how we do. But they're going to fight. There's something's going to happen. They're going to fight. This connection between Greg and Rebecca's going to come in, not the episode after, but the episode after that. And it's going to tie back in again. Something's going to happen during Christmas.
Oh, Christmas.
Mistletoe
It's going to be some mistletoe and then maybe even
and a New Year's kiss.
A New Year's kiss or something. Could it be between Josh and her or Greg and her?
Or maybe one at 59 or one at 8 seconds and one at 5 seconds. I don't know.
I don't think that Rebecca has it in her to try and play both of them.
Oh, that's okay.
You know what? She could possibly go on a date with both of them and try to hold on to both men. That would be an interesting twist.
Like one for Christmas and one for New Year's?
Right.
That could happen.
That could possibly happen. I would love to see that happen.
That could happen.
Because that would switch roles. You see men doing it. So, Rebecca, we hope to see you get your play on. Play on.
Do you have any relationship advice, Trene, before we head out?
You know what? Thanksgiving is coming up. So, definitely, if you don't have nowhere to go, try to get with your boo and his family.
There you go.
If he's not trying to have you, introduced to the parentals, go to the Thanksgiving dinner. Try to sneak your way in.
She said sneak your way in.
Try to say, my family doesn't like me. Make up some lies if you have to.
What's a good amount of time to meet the parents, do you think?
Honestly, it really doesn't matter these days because you could be with somebody for 4 months and they want to have you meet the parents.
That's true.
I mean, for me, I think that if the relationship is organic and you feel like you want to move to that next step, because meeting the parentals, that is the next step.
Yeah.
Because not only now you are receiving their approval from the people that raised your significant other.
Look at this. See, the relationship with the rice with Trene.
Yes! Get it right. Or get it tight.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, that's all she wrote for this episode. Tune back in next week because it's going to be interesting. Tweet us. Hit us up. We love hearing what you guys think. Trene.
Your girl Trene, at your girl Trene, Twitter and Instagram. Hit me up. Let's talk.
And once again, guys, it's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. Hit me up, y'all. Good night.
Night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.